Hello guys, welcome to Dee's World. My name is Diana, hence the name of the channel. So for today, we're gonna be making a bracelet. This is the lovely bracelet. Some pink Miyuki beads. These are Miyuki beads. And some pearl beads. They're not real pearls. Sorry guys. We're gonna be making this bracelet. It's quite easy and I'll show you exactly how. But first, let's get into what you're gonna need. You're gonna need your Miyuki beads. You can use whatever color of beads you prefer. Why pink, you ask? Why not? Why not pink? Got this from Amazon. Pearl beads, not real ones, again, sorry. I got this ones from Amazon as well. Lovely. Some clasps or some locks, whatever your preference is. They don't have to be this type of clasps or locks necessarily. You choose what you want to use for your design. Go crazy. Well, actually you don't need this. This is just something I added towards the end of the design. As you can see here, just to make this part a bit longer. So this is the ring, the little hoop that the clasp is gonna go through. This is how they come to you. This is how they are. So they have an opening, and of course when you close that up, you can use your clasps to lock your bracelet in. So that's the little guy, that's the little ring. It's quite small. You're also gonna need, of course, the clasp. This is the type of clasp that I'm gonna be using for this design, or I've used for this design. I'm so sorry, I'm stumbling over my words for some reason. So that's the clasp I'm gonna be using. Quite small as well. They do come in different sizes. It's just a matter of preference. We have this pliers, this type of pliers, that to cut through metal. You're gonna need this type of pliers. They have the mouth of it, I will call it the mouth, is they're quite thin, of course. If you're gonna be working with small pieces like this, you need something that's not gonna crush it. You need something like that to work around it, or with some parts of the whatever it is that you're using. So these are quite handy. You're gonna need a string. I'm using this, and it's some sort of like a fish line material. Why this? Because it's quite sturdy. It's quite sturdy, and it's thin enough to go through the beads that I'm gonna be using. Because the beads are quite small, and I'm gonna be going through some of them 2-3 times. And you do need a thread thin enough to be able to do that. But yeah, it's not the type of thread you do choose to use. Doesn't necessarily have to be what I'm using, but do consider that the size of the beads you're going to be using and the technique you're going to be using because for some techniques and some designs you don't necessarily have to go through the beads 2 or 3 times, maybe probably just once. And a thicker or yeah, a thicker thread would do just fine. Last but not least, you're gonna need this guy here. This is to burn out the little, if you have threads sticking out, just to burn them off and stick them down, and they're not visible anymore, and you have a clean and beautiful looking design at the end of it. So that's all you need for this design. Let's get into designing the actual bracelet. So get your beads in a plate or a surface you can work from. Put your beads in a plate like I've done here. It's not necessary, you can just place them on your worktop or in a plate or bowl or whatever you have with you. Next, you want to take your thread. The length of the thread depends on how I would say how long you want the bracelet sorry, to be. And then what I also did is I didn't mention in previously, is that these are quite handy, well, at least for me. These are needles and they're quite thin, and I put the thread through the hole, the eye of the needle, and then just pull it and just pull it a bit, not all the way, just a bit. And I did the same for the other end, because you're gonna be using 2 ends of the thread. So you have one end to your right and one end to your left. Okay, next you want to pick up 5 of your beads. I already did that. 5 beads. Next thing you want to do is go through one of the beads. So you have 5 beads, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and with one end of the thread, doesn't matter which end, it depends on if you're left-handed or right-handed. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to be using my right hand, and I'm going to be going through this bead here, just this one bead, like so, and pull, and what you get is this lovely 5-sided shape right here. Next, you want to do is, with one end of the thread, is pick up 4 beads, not 5, but 4 beads. The reason I use needles, it's not necessary, but the reason why I use needles is because it makes it easier to pick up the beads from your plate or from your work surface, much easier and faster. That's why. And of course, the thickness of the thread determines, determines whether it can go through the eye of the needle or not. So do keep that in mind. So you've picked up 4 beads with one end, pull them all the way to the little shape, and then I always have to what is it, like rotate or change the ends of the thread onto my right hand, because again, I'm right-handed. And you're gonna pick up the pearl bead. And with the end that has the pearl bead, go through one of the beads on the other end, from the top, going downwards, and just one of the beads, just one of them, and pull. And this is what you get. So you want this line here, this curve, to be continuous. So of course the thread you're gonna pick up the beads with is gonna be this side. Pick up your 4 beads, same as the first step, not the first step, but the second step. Pick up 4 beads, pull them all the way to the end, rotate, pick up your pearl bead, and go through one of the bead on the other end of the thread, from the top, going downwards, and pull. Like so. So this is what I meant. You want a continuous wave, so it's gonna go. You pick up your beads, your Miyuki beads, the pink ones, whichever color you're using, with this side of the thread. So it goes that way. And with this side, you're gonna pick up the pearl bead. Pull all the way. Pick up your pearl with the other end. Go through. Remember, we're still picking 4 beads, only 4 beads. And with this end of the thread, go through this bead at the top. From the top, going downwards, and pull. And repeat. So I'm not gonna do the full length of the bracelet because I did that already, but just to show you what I do when I get to the end of the bracelet, or whatever, if you get to the desired length of your bracelet, what you do next. I got rid of one of the needles because I only need one from this point onwards. So let's assume you've reached your desired length and you've reached the end and you wanna continue to the next step. What you want to do is pick up 4 4 beads with one side of the thread, but not just any end, not just any side of the thread, but the one that's leaning towards where the beads are. So this thread right here. So pick up 4 beads, 2, 3, 4. Just go through just one of the beads where the two threads are coming out of this bead right here. That's the one you're gonna put the thread with the beads through, and it's from this side towards this side, like so, and pull, and you get a 5-sided shape, just like in the beginning. From here, after doing that, you want to pass the thread through one more bead, like so, and then from here you're gonna pick up 3 beads with just that one side of the thread. The other side of the thread, I'll show you what to do in just a minute. So you pick up 3 beads and you skip one, skip the next bead. You're not gonna go through just that one, you're gonna go through that 3 more beads. So 1, 2, and 3, and pull. So I'm gonna tie this off, the thread that we're no longer using, because it's gonna get in your way and it's gonna be annoying. So let's get rid of that. So here we are. Now take 4 beads again. Sorry, 3 beads. Not 4, but 3. Skip one. And put the thread through 3 of the beads that are after that one bead that you just skipped. So 1, 2, 3. Put the thread through that and pull. Do the same thing. Pick 3 beads. Skip one. Hope you can see that. This is where your thread is. Skip the next bead and put the thread through 3 of the beads that are after that one. So 1, 2, 3, and pull. This is the last part, but we do the same thing. So 1, 2, 3, skip 1 and put it through the bead that's after it. And this time it doesn't really matter. It's not really about putting the thread through 3 beads, it's just skipping just that one and putting the thread through the bead that's after it. And pull. Now that we're here, we just need to tie this thread off and cut it. And there's your lovely design. Now this is where the lighter comes in handy. Is to burn off this little threads that are sticking out, if you can see that. Please be careful if you're a child. Have an adult help you with this. Kindly. And the last bit right here. It's quite tiny, so be careful you don't burn off the thread that's through the beads, because then you're gonna be back to 1, back to 0. And there you have it. Yeah, unfortunately it's not a complete bracelet, but I just wanted to show you how to do the design. Well, of course you do need to put in your lock, whatever you chose to use as a lock. This is what I chose. And the little clasp on the other side. And there you have it. A lovely bracelet that you can give as a present, or you can make for yourself. I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up or not, but please do. Consider subscribing, and we can do more lovely pieces like this and more designs together. Learn, fail, try again, and most importantly, have fun. I'll see you on the next one. Have fun making your bracelet.